the kind of development of a lot of the players. I mean, we saw Thom come in, his team were able, we're returning champions, weren't able to defend it, but next week he's on to bigger and better things, signing up with FaZe Clan for their Valorant team, I believe. And here we go. First round of Bind, Big Frames on the attacking side, and it is going to be a B push.
All right. Hookah's going to be walled off mostly. Hughes leaves a hole. Not sure if that's intentional or not. Players coming on through from Octagon, and they're already here. One goes down, two goes down. Hughes looking good, but Randy Savage and Winsome answer back. 2 players strong. Make it 1. It's just turn up, but it's too easy. Incredible. 22 HP, but 1 shot's all that's needed. And the defenders start things off hot. Way Too French with the lead.
All right, that's a nice start. That's definitely a nice start for them. The issue, of course, is when we get to those rifle rounds, what exactly happens? And, Way Too French, especially after that last map, they're just going to go ahead and full invest in heavy armors coming out, along with the SMGs here. They should play, of course, a little bit more defensively for their ranges. We do have, it looks like, a Phantom on line for one of the Way Too French players.
Already. Do you like this call?
Not the angle that he's holding it. Never mind, he's got the Spectre.
Okay. Use slow warp. And this will shut down a lot of what Big Frames wants to do. 2 for use, 1 for the teammate. Spike's still committed here. And this is just Big Frames saying, all right, let's get to round 3. We want to buy guns. Nice plays from Randy Savage, but ultimately it's Way Too French that are able to do it. Only lose 1 player, the Rays main, and so nothing of value is lost.
That does mean, though, because no one really went down, that at this point they're only bringing 1 rifle into this, and that's going to be in the hands of Hughes. Mill will go ahead and invest into that operator, though, and so this is crucial. If they end up losing this round, their economy's broke. Big Frame's going to be able to build momentum off of that.
Captain killed.
1 kill already for Meal. Nerfed in trouble. Still looking here, and Incred's able to get a high angle and find 1 as well. Way Too French, 5 strong versus Big Frames is 3, and Big Frame's going to look to rotate towards B site.
Yeah, they already have 3 players over here on the defense, though. For Way Too French, Winsome finds 1, and that's going to be the rotate coming out from the Silva player on Way Too French at this point. They can always, of course, just port away. Do they? They've got 48 seconds. They've got time to work with. They're going to try and sell the fake of the port.
Ooh, you think they can do it here? I mean,
no, Silva just sent his arrow on over. So that at least splits them up just a little bit. And so that's going to be 2 on A, 2 on B, another port on over. But here's the quick rotations now coming out for the rest of the French members.
All right, so 3 members heading towards A, 4 members on defense. Ray is going to jettison herself right into the crosshairs of Melio. A missed shot from Mil. And not a great look. 12 seconds on the clock. Big Frame's got to go now. And they're going to opt to just lose it out. Hold on to whatever they've got here. A Phantom for CP2, and I believe another rifle over there for the Sage player.
Yeah, I feel like it might have just ran out of mouse pad space there because he had to flick pretty hard from the right to the left and didn't check that left angle, which you always should if you're going to push up towards U-Haul. So Way Too French surviving that round, and that's really huge for them at this point because they basically get rifles upgrades for free. This is their opportunity now to really build up a bank in terms of economy. They do still have 1 person, it looks like,
This is a nice spot.
staying on the SMG. No, I believe he bought into this one.
Revealing area.
Well, this is where Meal wants to hang out the entirety of the game, the long-range sniper. Players coming in from A main, or at least thinking about it. Shock Dart's going to lead the way and wall off that way. The smokes will block the shots from the other side. Bomb going to be looked to planted, and we're down.
Ooh, Meal finds that pick onto CP2, though. And that's going to be nice, as it is going to be a 5v4 retake. Make that a 5v3. Melio pushing up through U-Hauls.
And he's going to have a good spot to defuse, but a couple of players to deal with. Win some, but the other two answer back. Randy Savage here in the corner picks up one, but somebody's waiting. And just like that, it's 4-0 for Way to French.
Yeah, Big Frame struggling just a little bit here. I feel like the idea to wall off U-Haul initially, it sounds sound, but they give up a lot of map control. They're not able to push through U-Haul. They look a little afraid to contest that, and I think you got to let go of that fear. You have to have control over U-Haul so you can maybe try to even push up into defender spawn. But at this point, Way Too French, you know, they just need to continue doing what they're doing. You know, they're playing this standard. They're playing this disciplined. Even on that last one, they saw a lot of players still feigning over at A's side, and it could have been a rotate because of the teleport play. And they kept the two players until the spike went down before the rotate happened.
It's a good call. You know, like you said, discipline. That's the best word to use there, for sure. Big Frames this time around coming through hookah. Nobody up here. One player going to be coming from long. Winsome going to check the cubby, looks like. Rather, all the way back at labs. And this is a relatively open site here. Sage will be coming up, and a nice wait there from Winsome. Knew exactly where Sage was going to show up. CP2 is able to trade out with Melio. 2 players left to look for the plant. Make it 1, but only 2 players left to play D. Meal is one of them. Has an op in the hallway of labs. And is going to find out where Winsome is. The pick and run. They're all the way up.
Is he going to try and run all the way back over to the B site? He is.
I mean,
it worked.
Yeah, sure. There it is. Okay. More than enough time for the spike to be planted. Bop. Way Too French, I guess, almost thought it was going to be the save, but...
Bomb buddy out.
Could have held on to the bomb buddy a little bit longer.
Yeah. What do you do here with 17? Do you just...
Pray.
Here's the hop out. Looks to the left side. Incredible, able to pick up 1. And that's that. 5 unanswered rounds for Big Frames. Just like that.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on, what's going wrong with their attack. So far, I can't really place a finger on it currently. I know we're only 5 rounds in, but right now I feel like Big Frames are doing some of the right things. It's just losing a lot of the duels is more important right now.
Big Frames trying to get back into this one. Racking my brain trying to figure out how they are going to do just that. CP2 is going to try and start it with a shock dart and bring out the op. Smoke's coming out. Just slow rolling the push here. Big Frames do have 1 all the way at B and 1 over at A, alongside the 3 that are pushing through A main. The rotation coming here is incredible, and Melio and Meal are able to just cut down Big Frames. This looks like a completely different team.
Yeah, that fear of the operator, I believe, on Meal, correct? I think just slowing down Big Frame's play. So they were very wary of maybe having the operator up in heaven, but no, he was all the way over at B. He was ready with the on the hunt, try and shut them down if he needed to be present cross map. And huge round for Way Too French, only losing the one in that entire exchange.
Oh, well. Sometimes you're the dog, sometimes you're the hydrant. Way Too French barking their way down this map for sure. Halfway to a map point. Big Frames still a goose egg, and not with the equipment this round to do much of with. Bunch of sheriffs. Next round they'll be buying for sure, but not here.
Yeah, and at this point, Way Too French also playing this correctly, you know, really expecting or respecting the eco round. They're not getting too big for their britches. They're making sure that they're securing every single round. They're not going to let one slip away now. All 5 members ready for this push on to the B site.
Winsome getting ready. Up in hookah. Tosses one out. Just spamming the sheriff. Love to see it. Orbital Strike is going to come down onto the site. And Winsome able to find the shots. Grabs a rifle. Big Frames 4 alive versus French's 3. All of a sudden, 3 HP on Winsome. Does get healed up. Thank you. And there's a showstopper. Curious.
Yeah, this is just all excellent delay. They've got the tools to do it. Slow them down on this retake. They've got the numbers advantage. Showstopper out for Nano, though.
Whoa, turn up with 1 shot. 1 kill. And that's that. Beautiful play. The ace from Winsome. Thrifty across the board. If you are going to get back into it, that's how you do it, baby.
One thing I will say for Way Too French's defense there is that I think I was talking about, of course, having respect for the eco rounds, and that might have been a little bit too much respect. You're used to seeing a Sage play a little bit more up, and we know with the nerfs that have come in, she doesn't have the same kind of cast range when it comes to her wall, and so they weren't really able to do much to slow down that whole 5-man push onto the B site. There was no wall that came up on Hookah. There were no slow orbs that came down in time. And so Big Frames were just on the site in a big way, real quick.
This time around, Big Frame's going to sniff out Hookah one more time. 3 defenders on B this time around. The spike is around long. Winsome trying to play it carefully. Know that a player likes to hang out in cubby and will toss out the satchel charges. CP2 fires some nonsense as well. Shock dart into the back line. Will hit Nano, but not enough for a kill. Throws one back. And so Big Frames, 4 players up. Emilio able to find 1. Way Too French. All aboard. So Big Frames gets caught out on the dart. And we'll look for the rotation.
They do have 2 players from the defense that were hovering over the port, so they could respond to this a little bit faster. But here we go. This is going to be Big Frames all pushing out on to the site. They still have the possibility to go over for that port, but it looks like they will go ahead and put that wall down and get the plant.
Nice looks so far. Firing blindly into the smokes. Won't find much of anything. Shock dart, though, goes a little bit too far. Winsome doesn't. Gets the kill here versus Nano and the foul. CP2 with the follow-up. So now there's 3 players standing for French and 3 players standing for Frames. Nice trade out there. Negates 1. Turn up. Negates the other. And that's an odd peek. Winsome grabs it, however, and it's 6-2.
Big Frame still with some fight left in them yet here in the half. The economy not quite broken for Way Too French, though. They're still going to be able to full buy into this round. Another operator once again in the hands of Mill. And you know, despite the round losses, he's still picking up these frags for it. Currently 9-1 right now, or 9-3 right now.
Right through the port from the beginning, into the shot. A rare choice.
I believe we saw him do that on Bind last time around, and he ended up just getting stuck there and dying. This time around, though, he was successful.
That's what he was trying to do. Looks good this time around. Mid is where big frames are coalescing. Of course, they are 4 strong, as opposed to 5, thanks to the beautiful play by Meal through the teleport. Smokes down. CP2 in showers with the sniper, trying to find left or right. Won't be able to find a target either way. Incredible answers, though. And flawless victory. That was awfully quick. Lucky number 7 for Way Too French.
Big round for Way Too French here. Really cresting a crucial one, honestly. At this point, big frames, they've got 3 rounds left to go to try and pick up if they could get a 7-5 scoreline. But with the way things are going, Way Too French have been so solid in their defense, really off the back of players like Mill and Melio, who have been really holding it down. Mill himself, with that presence on that operator, you know, he's averaging over 1 kill per round, but it's just the simple presence of his operator so far that has gone largely unanswered by big frames. That's slowing them down on a lot of these pushes.
Already one trade, and I've got to agree. I really enjoyed the way Meal has affected the game. Use and Nano able to trade. Randy Savage, though, with a quick 2-pick. And he'll be able to plant the bomb. Enemies revealed. He got to run. 2 players for the retake, 3 players to defend it. CP2 is one of them. Knows where to look. Player coming from... Turns around and able to pick up CP2. 1 left in the box. And that's got to be... This has to be... Yeah. Great plays. Big frames, though, they still have their Brimstone. And what he's been doing has been pretty good. Should be enough time to defuse, however.
Oh, he's not even going to be able to peek it in time. Oh, he is.
Oh, wow. The last-minute shot. Did not expect that, in all honesty. And so big frames grab their 3rd round. Again, we switch at 12. And so with 10 in the pocket, big frames now desperately trying to make this a 7-5 split.
Again, though, the economy's so good for Way Too French right now, so they're still going to be able to full buy into this one. 2 Phantoms coming out as we do have a short pause.
And a good look so far. Big frames trying to work their way back into it. And it seems possible. You know, a lot of times we look at these situations and we go, I don't know if they're going to do it. But this one looks kind of possible. So yeah. The 2 rounds, like you said, the economy for Way Too French, real strong at the moment. So how do they get back into here? Because right now we have weaponry if we're looking at big frames aside. So with that in mind, I mean, it's really not that far of a stretch for them to win this one and the next one, knowing how they play, but it's all cards on the table for sure.
Yeah, so 1 round was an eco round win, I believe. That was the first round that big frames were able to get. But when it came down to the rifle rounds, which there have been many, big frames have been faltering there. They never had the opportunity to try and break the economy of Way Too French. And so Way Too French have just honestly just outgunning the entire big frame squad so far, despite some of the heroics coming out from when some other players. It just hasn't been enough so far. Mill, with that operator, has just been doing so much work, not by kills, just by mere presence.
Insane. just showing up, and yeah, you keep mentioning Meal, and it's such a big deal how he has impacted the game. And so I use this phrase I took it from Magic, and I used it with respect to when players hold their ultimate, and I think it works here as well with respect to the op. The threat of activation, just by having the op, means that you have to be wary of these long-range engagements. And that's the impact that we're seeing here. The threat of optivation, if you will, as way too French just have so much control with this gun.
Yeah, I'll take a look at the spread out. Push coming out from Big Frames as they're just trying to get any information. They do have bathrooms control. Now they're pushing up to Hookah. There are two players stacked right up on the left-hand side here. They got to be careful going for this peak.
1 and 2 go the way of use. And we'll block off the wall as well. So Big Frames lose 2 for 1. Meal, however, firing the lasers. Won't find much of anything.
Yeah, that was a good idea. He was trying to cover the spike pickup.
Right.
They were able to recover it for Big Frames. But again, they're going into a 2v2 over here on the B site. One already pushed up the Octagon.
So you still have one defender. Pop. Nerf looked like he knew Incredible was there. It's just familiarity with where you want to hang out. Well played. But use, okay, another trade, 2-on-2. Big Frames. Trying to make it happen. Shock darts are pretty cute. And Meals is able to find the kill on the Randy Savage with him. And there's going to be a save here from CP2. Defenders were able to take it 8-3, 1 round before the half.
A little awkward there. I don't know why Nerf was looking up towards Hookah. Because I'm pretty sure that he had Randy Savage rotating through port for that. So it wasn't an angle that he needed to be holding. He could have, of course, been holding back and playing for backside instead, which is where the threat came from, where he ultimately died from. That should have been Big Frames' round.
I hate to agree. The shock dart was cute. Shock dart takes down Randy Savage. If Randy Savage doesn't die there, it's probably a different story. But if wishes were horses, beggars would ride. Way too French. 5 away from taking the map. Incred from behind takes down Nerfed. Way too French look like a much different team here. In game number 3.
Losing Nerfed again early on.
Right here.
I like that he's trying to challenge for that ultimate orb up at Banana, but didn't quite work out for them. They're already rotating one on over. They've got 3 members on the B site as all 4 members are here now. Walled off for the rest to bring Nerf back into it. And that kind of signals, that they're pushing through.
And everybody knows it. Incredible's ready, and it's good enough for 1. Likely going to be traded out, and he's got a hair of HP. CP2 answers by taking down Nano. And Randy Savage going to drop the spike. Nice job. And Incredible. 59 health points strong. He's able to find 1. Big Frames has 2 left to defend this spike. Looks like both of them are behind it. Nope, there was one up there. Incredible officially has 5 kills, and the ace is not enough. Meal, however, will help finish things off, and that's number 9. That's the half. Big Frames have a lot to do.
Oh boy, did not think we would be put into this position here. Big Frames really struggling on their offensive side, shying away from the A site pushes. I mean, there's some standard executes onto the A site we generally see. You wall off truck, you go ahead and plan, you just plant for short A, and that's like the simplest thing. All you need to do is, of course, check that angle over at U-Haul and make sure no one's playing there. And we didn't even see that one, to the best of my knowledge, right? Maybe we saw it once on the half, but I don't know exactly why. I'm guessing it's just, they were afraid of that operator play, but half the time the operator was between sites, and so you kind of coin flip there, and they never took that coin flip.
Tough stuff, but either way, a new half. Nerf starts things off on a different note, but 3 other players show up and make the trade successful. 4 players walking in. Melio is gonna start this one off well, and the cage and the trap wire to stop the flank. Spike planted. There's 2 players here in the showers. Melio again.
Unavoidable.
And Turnip able to find one. 2 players versus 3. Big frames are going to make it 2-on-2.
Revealing area.
Good stuff. Silver player trying to find left or right. Knows there's somebody somewhere back there, but can't lock it on down.
It's that fake pushes U-Haul, but Mill is there. And now it's a 1v2 on this retake left.
Walks on in. CP2 trying to make it happen. And it's Mill again. This is the standout player for sure.
Yeah, currently 14-4. Incred at 14-10, Milio 16-7, and Mill has absolutely been dominating on this map so far. It's only been Winsome on the opposite end that's been able to get things going. CP2, your favorite Cypher player, has ultimately just been shut down in this map.
He's been making no noise whatsoever. At all.
Deploying drone.
Kinda interesting, in all honesty.
Oh.
Win some and lose some. 4-on-4. Nano finds a secondary pick. Here comes the rush on through.
Out of charge.
Big frames, only 3 players left. 1 all the way on the other side. The other 2 here in the corners. They're gone. And so it's just the lurker. And they know where he is. I guess hold the shorty. I mean, location revealed. That's the worst. Nothing you can do here.
Man, things
Nice
are
play.
rough for big frames right now.
Where did this come from?
Honestly, I don't know. They're playing completely differently here. Again, Haven does play differently. You have when they took their win on Haven, of course, they had more options in the way that they play their defense, and the way they play their offense. It's very much more dynamic. While this is still pretty open here on Vine, right? It's more open than Split for sure. It's definitely not the same. I think, again, their offense, they just continually got shut down. They played more favoring over to the B side, and that's kind of where they found their success. The very little that they did on the half, way too French, on the way to sending us to a map number 3.
That map number 3 will not be Ascent. We'll be going to Haven. Or excuse me, Split. If I'm not mistaken. And so we'll see if we'll actually need that. Yes, it will be Split. And it looks like we just might. 11-3, a harrowing win-loss here.
Cage triggered.
Turn Up gonna start things off by getting one, but
There they are.
Randy Savage looking good. Beautiful plays. And I want to mention how Meal again finds the kill with the op. They just Way Too French have made this same play over and over again, where they 3-peek this corner and win the trade every time. Big Frames has to download that information to move on, not just trust gun skill. This is the example of what happens when the gun skill does win, but I'm seeing coordination on Way Too French's side that Big Frames have not brought in map number 2.
Yeah, that's at least a moment of reprieve for themselves here, being able to secure a 4th round now over 2 halves. That you don't like hearing that. 4 rounds after 2 halves. So now, Big Frames, did they do enough? The fact that he was able to hold on to the operator here, Mill, just means that their economy should stand healthy. They'll be okay to just go ahead and contest rifles once again. It's going to be challenging Big Frames who have been struggling when they do get their full buys to really come up with anything at this point. So Way Too French, one more buy round into this. If Big Frames can take this win here, if they take this, they'll force Way Too French onto, it looks like possibly a Nico. It's pretty close. I didn't really look at the full money by the end there, but it looked really close. And I don't think they're not going to be, of course, on full loss round bonus. So there's that.
Looks like an all-out A push. Way Too French are very excited about it. Big Frames have 3 people on B, so it's going to be a long rotate for a long retake. Nano, fully healthy. His Brimstone player, not so much. Winsome finds ahead, able to do it, and the showstopper takes down Incredible right after the spike. Long range from Neil. Trouble for the site. Around the corner. Turn up answers. 1 versus 2. Big Frames Meal is able to find the kill. Can't get on through. Has to use the knife. Finally gets on through. Turnip's waiting. And the defenders find number 5.
Yes, we see what can be the difficulty, of course. Trying to play for that kind of like default play onto A. The fact that even if you get the wall off and you try to get the plant down, there's so many things, right? Molotovs, people already have that lineup. The paint shells also have that lineup. And so Big Frames were ready to defend that, and they got it all down. They delayed it long enough. But we also saw during that the dynamics of how the A and B site work here on on Bind, that you still have to leave defenders on whatever site until the bomb plant goes down. And that's what Big Frames did, and that's kind of commendable that they were actually able to hold on long enough, even in a 2v5 or 2v4 at that point. This time around, on board with Winsome, and it looks like it's going to be another execute onto the A site.
All right, well, here's the push forward. And Nerfed has a good angle. Going to be smoked out real quick. Winsome does find 2, same way he did last time. 1 with a gun, 1 with an explosive. Nerfed is waiting in the wings and able to find 1 as well. Melio finds Winsome tossing, but Turnip too easy is able to answer. 1 left, it's Meal. Doesn't have the op. He's got the close range op, and the defenders are able to take it 6-11. Big Frames trying to claw their way back into it.
That's a good one. Making sure that they secured that anti-eco round for themselves. But again, it's coming down to these rifle rounds, these full buys that'll come out from Way Too French. Big Frames have been struggling so far here on the defender side, though. It's been a little bit of a different case. See if they can continue to get this momentum going, continue to build up a bank. It's looking so good so far. As I like this play, getting a little bit aggressive over at Showers.
So gotta look for the changeup, Gotta look for the changeup. Nice job there. Shot through the wall. Meal's going to be able to pick this kill. Meal's going to be able to pick this. No, not yet. Incred finishes off what Meal started. And it's CP2. Who's honestly been quiet this match. Hughes picks up 1. Nano trying to walk through the smoke. Can't find the secondary opportunity. Big Frames looking for a retake. Spike planted, uses there, waiting for Winsome. And way too French. 5 players up. There's no way Big Frames gets this retake. Way too French are going to be 1 away from a game 3.
Yeah, just no chance whatsoever coming out from them. And even though they had a very fast response, way too French just hit all their shots as they made their execute onto that B site. And so they only lose the 1 throughout all of that. And it's going to be good signs for them to try and finish this off.
Is there a way for Big Frames to win 7 in a row here? I know they're talented enough, but I mean, this is the type of situation where it's like, they tough. I think, you got to deal with Meal. And the fact that Meal has no ultimate is probably a good look, but you've got, what is it? You've got the Res and the rocket launcher on way too French. Man, I think we're just going to a game 3.
Okay.
We very well might be. I say one thing that Big Frames could do is try to make some hookah pushes, challenge over there. That hasn't been really happening. It's been a lot of duels that have been taking place over here, both on attack and defense for them. Showstopper comes in, wins some with 2.
And Hughes answers back just a little bit, and a little bit more, and a little bit more. So all of a sudden, what looked like a great push for Big Frames is anything but. 2 players left versus the 4 of way too French. And make that 1. Spike's planted. Randy Savage has no choice. This is the end of the map.
Yeah, barring any heroics but a 1v4 retake, Milia's going to go ahead and shut that down. And again, we've got basically the story of the night, one-sided maps either way up until we go to map number 3. We thought Big Frames might have a little bit more fight in them here, but that was not the case, as way too French just absolutely shut them down. Milio and Meal coming up huge for the team. 19-12 on Milio, 19-7 on Mill. But, they weren't outdoing the rest of their team. Hughes and Incredible were also contributing throughout all of this. It just, seemed like a lot of players on the Big Frame side just had difficulty keeping up